Professor Nidhi Tiwari from Regional Institute of Education, NCERT, Bhopal. Today I am going to talk on the poem Bird Talk, which is in the book Marigold, Class 3 of NCERT. In this poem we find two birds, Robin and Jay. The birds are talking to each other. They are thinking about the human beings and they are passing their comments on the human beings. They find human beings very different from them. Human beings don't grow feathers. They don't eat beetles. They don't sit on strings. In this way, the human beings are very different from the world of birds. So, the birds find the human beings very funny. Now, dear viewers, I am going to take you to a scenario of activities with small learners. You will see them engaged in recitation of the poem, taking a walk in the garden, watching even videos, and they will also be answering questions. They might even be composing poems. So, there is going to be a chain of activities. In this way, we are addressing the learning outcomes of recitation, comprehension, reading another poem, even composing poems, and thus it is going to be an enjoyable assessment. Hello children, how are you?
Hello ma'am, we are fine.
Oh, so I see you've made some drawings. And who has made what? Let me see. Vartika, what have you made?
Ma'am, I have made Robin from the poem Bird Talk.
Oh, great. And Spriha, what have you made?
Ma'am, I have made the bird Jay from the poem Bird Talk.
Okay, so you remember the poem Bird Talk which I taught you?
Yes, ma'am.
Now what we are going to do is, maybe you would like to recite the poem.
Yes, ma'am.
So why don't you become the birds? Would you like to become the birds?
Yes, ma'am.
So Vartika, you are going to be the Robin.
Okay, ma'am.
And Spriha, you are going to be the Jay.
Okay, ma'am.
Now you have to imagine that you are in a garden and you're sitting in the garden and you're reciting the poem. Will you be able to do this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let us start the recitation of the poem.
Think, said the robin. Think, said the jay. Sitting in the garden, talking one day. Think about the people, the way they grow. They don't have feathers at all, you know.
They don't eat beetles. They don't grow wings. They don't like sitting on wires and things.
Think, said the robin.
Think, said the jay.
Aren't people funny to be that way?
Oh, wonderful! You recited so nicely. Did you enjoy being the birds?
Yes,
ma'am.
Good. Now, would you like to sing this poem also? Can you try to sing this song?
Yes, ma'am.
Try.
Think, said the robin. Think, said the jay. Sitting in the garden, talking one day. Think about the people, the way they grow. They don't have feathers, that's all you know. They don't eat beetles, they don't grow wings. They don't like sitting on wires and things. Think, said the robin, think, said the jay. Aren't people funny to be that way?
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. I would like to clap for you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Now, are you ready for questions on this poem?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, there is a question for you, Vartika. Are you ready for the question?
Yes, ma'am.
What are the birds saying about the people?
The birds are saying about people that the people don't have feathers.
Oh, this is the right answer. Good. And Spriha, the question for you is that what are the things that the human beings don't do?
The birds say that the human beings don't eat beetles and they don't have wings.
Okay.
They also say that we don't like to sit on wires and things.
Oh yes, that too is a right answer. Oh, I see that you've understood the poem. Good. Now the last question. Are you ready?
Yes,
Shall I
ma'am.
ask?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The question is, why do the birds find the people funny?
Ma'am.
Okay, Vartika wants to answer.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
The bird thinks that the people are funny because we are different from them.
Oh yes, that too is the right answer. So you have understood the poem. That's very good.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Children, I would like to have your charts.
Yes, ma'am.
I remember one day you went to the garden for a walk.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you enjoy walking in the garden?
Yes, ma'am.
Vartika, what did you like in the garden?
Ma'am, I like the chirping of the birds and the beautiful flowers in the garden.
Oh, did you really listen to the chirping of the birds?
Yes, ma'am.
And Spriha, could you also listen to the chirping of the birds?
Yes, ma'am.
And what else did you see in the garden?
I saw trees and flowers
Okay.
and the birds chirping.
Oh, so now you have really seen the birds, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
And nature is so beautiful.
Yes, of course, ma'am.
Now I am going to show you a video of birds. You have seen this beautiful video and I'm sure you've enjoyed it. Maybe you can now write few sentences on the video that you have seen. Children, would you like to compose some poems?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you do it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let us try. But first, I will also show you a poem which I have written for you. Would you like to see it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me show you. See, this is the poem I have written for you. Keep it in the center between you. Okay, can you see the poem?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I have written this poem for you. And would you like to read this poem?
Yes, ma'am.
Try.
They fly, we work. They chirp, we chalk.
They have feathers, we have hair. They sit on wires, we sit on chair.
Okay, children, here they is for the birds and we is for the human beings. Now, there is a rhyme scheme in the poem and I will show you what is the rhyme scheme. In the first line, last word is
Walk,
and in the second line, last word is
talk.
So, when we say walk, talk, there is a similar sound. That is the rhyme. Okay. Now, I am going to give you an activity and you are going to write poems. Is it clear? Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, take the pencils. Please give this back to me. Now there are two sentences here for you. See. And you are expanding this poem, right? And already I have given you the sentences. You have to fill in the blanks. When you will fill in the blanks, the poem will become complete. Do you understand this?
Yes.
So you may think what words you have to fill in the blank. And the last two blanks here, first line, last one, second line, last one, that should rhyme. Just as we had the rhyme in walk and talk. So some word you have to bring here which will rhyme with the word here. Is this clear? Can you try?
Yes.
Would you like to? And you can also ask each other. You can have even pair work together. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Try. We have seen Vartika and Spriha compose a poem together. It was pair work and they were talking to each other and filling the blanks. After they completed this activity, they have recited the two lines together. You can ask each other, you can think also.
Okay, ma'am.
Oh, have you completed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, would you like to read out maybe the first sentence? Vartika, you can read out what are the words that you have chosen to fill in the blanks. Vartika, read.
Ma'am, I have chosen the words beetle and bread.
Can you read the full sentence now?
Yes, ma'am. They eat beetles, we eat bread.
Okay. Now, Spriha, what have you written in the blanks in the second sentence?
Ma'am, I have chosen the words trees and bed.
Okay, can you read the full sentence?
They sleep on trees, we sleep on bed.
Okay, now both of you try to recite the two lines together. Now you have composed the poem, isn't it?
Yes,
Are you
ma'am.
happy about this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now read the two lines together.
They eat beetles, we eat bread. They sleep on trees, we sleep on bed.
Oh, wonderful. Good. Are you happy?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, children.
Welcome, ma'am.
Welcome back, dear viewers. I'm sure you must have enjoyed watching the activities in which the learners were engaged. You have seen the drawings of the children and they are also trying to pose as Robin and Jay. In this way, we are trying to go for art integrated learning. You have seen the children recite the poem in a very different way. They are acting as the characters, that is the Robin and the Jay. Another thing that you must have noticed is that the children are taking a walk in the garden. And after they come back from the walk, and when I ask them questions, they have enjoyed the walk and they are able to respond to the questions that I ask. And they are able to answer the questions very well because it is their experience. Next thing is that the children have also understood the poem which I brought for them, which is a poem which I composed for them. And I have encouraged them to compose poems. And they have done it, taking idea from the cues that I have given. Thus, we can encourage creativity in the children also and let the children enjoy different activities which helps them to understand the lesson. We have also shown them the videos because children love to see the videos. And that helps them to understand the poem once again because it becomes an experience for them. Thus, a classroom becomes very lively. And this is what we have to do. We have to make the classroom very lively. Thank you.